Hey everybody, welcome to day 8.
Day 8
of the brew. I have to start that over. Oh my god. Okay.
No, just keep going. Day 8 of the 12 days of Christmas. I'm sorry.
We're starting
12
to go
days of
over.
IPA. It is 12 days of Christmas, but
Yeah.
you know, but we're drinking IPA.
Oh my goodness.
Don't cut it out. They need to see the idiocy.
Welcome, Happy New Year, Happy January 1st.
I forgot we were supposed to do this today.
Yeah, I
Jesus.
apologize for my voice too.
And our coziness.
We are going to be cozy today because this is how it's going to happen.
Yeah.
The game must go on. It must continue.
Definitely.
And happy January 1st. Happy 2024.
Amen.
It's going to
to
be an amazing, great, wonderful, spectacular year.
So I'm excited for this beer.
Yes.
These are some of the fun things I was looking forward in the pack. Today is the Stone Tangerine Express Hazey IPA. This one I did read a lot up on before drinking it because I wanted to make sure I knew the source of its flavors, and sometimes they get it just from the hops, the citrusy and things like that. This time they actually did do a tangerine puree with a little bit of pineapple. And then the tropical notes are coming in from the hops, I believe.
That's cool.
But today, new bottle opener. This is my favorite wine opener. So, never used it before. So hopefully it doesn't break in my hand. But yeah, it still works even though I needed 2 tries.
I didn't even know that was a bottle opener on there.
I didn't know it either until I went to the drawer today and saw it.
Nice.
But I think we're going to be able to go 12 days with 12 different... I'm only giving you a little bit. Your throat's amazing. So, I'm expecting very citrusy, tangerine-y, pineapple-y, fruity, and very hoppy.
Yeah.
They did do it to 57 IBUs, I think, if I remember correctly. Get 57 IBUs. It is hazy.
Yeah.
I would expect that from like the puree they put into the. I would assume the puree would only go into the fermenter. And that allows the yeast to eat the sugars of the pineapple.
Because it's not overpowering.
Tangerine.
Yeah, it's not overpowering the smell.
No, it's not. It's very
soft.
Yeah, very
But
soft.
it's sweet. You can tell it's sweet.
Yeah. Well, cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, you guys.
Oh, very drinkable. The fruit flavor of the tangerine, which is not overly balanced, or overly like in your face. It's very balanced. It cuts into the bitterness to where you get a very balanced, refreshing beer. Which, by the way,
I like this.
This does not adhere to the purity laws that Germany set in 1300s because of the fruit they put into it. Thank God we live in America. Wow, yeah, that's a good beer.
That's a really good beer.
This would be a great summery beer.
Yes. Big poolside.
Yeah.
Yeah, just...
Or just casual dining.
Yeah. Sitting out in your backyard.
Yeah.
Staring at the fence. Bonfire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a warm day, warm night. This would be a good beer. So I'm going to read you the hops they put into this thing, the amount of hops. Quite extensive. They have Magnum hops, Centennial hops, Citra hops, Sterling hops, Mosaic hops, Simcoe hops, Cascade hops, and Azeka hops. Cascade and Azeka hops.
I feel like it's overly hoppy though. I don't feel like it's
the sugar,
overbearing.
The sugars from the puree is balancing out, so you're not going to get that heavy bitterness. Like if you took the fruit out of it, puree, it would be much more hoppy.
Guys, a question about puree, because like I'm thinking, you know how you make puree in a blender?
That's
they
what
just literally dump it in, and do they filter it out?
No. They pureed the entire tangerine, like everything from the zest to the innards.
You're not getting like floaty bits.
Oh, it's probably filtered.
Oh, okay, that's what I was
But
wondering.
remember, all that's going to settle after fermentation. It's going to sit in the tank. I'm assuming they didn't put it into the boil. They could have, but I'm assuming they didn't.
Sure. I think you would have had a much more rind specific taste if they put it into the boil.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know. I just think that they stick the purees into the fermenter, and then the yeast eats the sugars from the purees. That's my little knowledge about adding fruits to wine. Is they don't stick it into beer. They don't stick it into the boil. They stick it in after it's all done. They dump it into the fermenter, and then the yeast eats the sugars from it, and then the aromas and flavors and stuff will also remain.
Interesting. Yeah, this is really great. I would highly recommend this one. Yay.
Yeah, this is definitely more bitter than the German beers, but it's on par with the balance that we had with them. A lot of the German beers were, you could say, were under hopped, or I should use the word barely hopped.
Sure.
And except the the Bach, which has no hops.
So like they're more working with like the yeast aspect of it.
Yeast and grain. Yeast and grain. Yeah. Even though the Bach we did had a little bit of hops in there.
Yeah.
I don't know if they dry hopped it or stuck it into the boil. I did mention during the advent calendar that when you stick the hops into the boil, as you boil the hops, it releases the aroma and the flavor, and the longer the boil, the more the aromas and stuff boil out of it, and it leaves you more of the bitterness. So I remember we would actually release hops at different stages. So we'd throw hops in like the final 20 minutes, the final 15 minutes, the final 5 minutes. And then you'd have some hops will only be boiled for 5 minutes. So a lot of their aroma and everything would stay dried. We just started learning about dry hopping. We never dry hopped, but it would be something I would definitely would have been interested in probably doing more of, like with the Citra, just to get the citrus aroma. And I don't mind the piney flavors and stuff. I take that over the bitterness every day of the week. But we only brewed for about 1.5 years.
Yeah.
So took a long time.
It did.
I mean, every other weekend we were brewing for an entire day.
When we say an entire day, from like 8 a.m. or even before then, sometimes you guys would
Our
set
goal
up.
was to try to wrap everything up by 6.
Yeah.
So we go from 8 in the morning. When we say 8 in the morning, that means garage door open. And then we would start packing everything out, set the system up. By I think 10 o'clock, we wanted to be mashing and try to be. No, by 10 o'clock we wanted the water temperature at point, and then we would start the mash by 10 or 11, and by 12 we wanted to be going into the boil. And then from there, of course, we had hours of cleanup.
Sure, yes. A lot of cleanup.
Yeah.
Sometimes cleanup went well into
we had one day
night.
that went into like 2 o'clock in the morning because when we cleaned up the time before, we did a sloppy job and we had mold in the tubes and stuff, and so we had to, it took us a long time to clean the tubes properly and flush out and sanitize and everything like that. I think what we ended up doing is we had to run boiling water through everything first and clean everything, and it was just a freaking mess.
Yeah. Hey, had fun. Learned things.
Yeah. And there were some cool devices and things that we had bought that were just like, we were working with a refractometer and things like that, so we could get the sugar and get the sugar levels of the beer. We were working with, I think, the cooler radiator thing that we had, where you run the hot water through one side and running hose water through the other side, and it would pretty much get boiling water down to like 80 degrees and like instantly. And it was like just a cool thing. So we could put the beer in the fermenter and already have it down to not necessarily the right temperature, but get it down, from 212 degrees down to 80 degrees. Then they stick it in the fermenter and cool it down to 68 degrees or whatever we need to do from there. But everything started the day before when we were in the kitchen making the yeast that we needed to pitch. So we had an Erlenmeyer flask. We had to make a little bit of solution for the yeast to grow in, and then we'd get like a yeast cake, and we had to then take everything off, throw everything off the top, and leave the yeast cake, which would then dump into the fermenter. So
it was a process.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hey, it was a great experience to have had. So
yeah.
Glad we went down that road for a little while.
Yeah.
So.
You learn a little bit about science, a little bit about, making beer.
Well, you guys, cheers.
Cheers.
I hope you guys have
Happy New Year.
a great day today. Happy New Year, and we will see you guys tomorrow for day 9.
Day 9.
We're almost to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye, you guys. We will see you later.
God bless you all.